Alright, let's see how we go with this. I'm down to 720p this time. So, best of luck to us all. Get the keyboard out of the way. And now I've got to try and remember what I was doing. That can go. Looks good, sounds good, glad to hear. So I don't know whether it's just a temporary glitch or what. My upstream is about 6 megabit per second, and I'm only running at just over 3 megabit per second here, so I don't know what's going on. Junk on my damn tweezers making the parts stick. It's all that dried up, gnarly, gooey flux. Oh, for God's sake. Hey Lynn, hey Amy, hey TCRS. Alright, seems like we've got the full crew here almost. You probably will be able to hear a fair bit of traffic noise out the side. I'm not too worried about the quality of the soldering right now because I will just go over it in the end with hot air. Huh. I just realised I was wondering whether these were the 338s that I wanted for the MOSFETs, and I couldn't tell because the sticker I've got. Let's see if the sticker I've got does not actually say that they're 338s. It's the internal part number, and the company that I bought them off has since closed, and so there's no online catalogue. And then I just looked at the numbers on the chip itself, and it says 338. So lucky me. Yeah, these tweezers, Lynn, I don't know where I got them from, to be honest, but I really do like them. They're quite, yeah, I'll show you. They're quite long, but and light, and they're soft to handle, as in you don't have to apply a lot of pressure with your fingers to get them to stick, to move. But yeah, I don't know where I got them from. Yeah, Stray 77. Hearing some birds before. Yeah, there's no shortage of birds around here. Pretty much living in the outback wildlife. Rolling light flicker from overhead light. Yep, that unfortunately I can't do anything about. Let's see if this turns it off. No, I've got my 50 hertz filtering on, but it's just not doing the trick. So I'm sorry about that. Hey Miles. Let's see. So I've been playing Stray. You've been playing Bluetooth modules, HCO5. I saw the HCO5 and there's also the HCO6. I read what the difference was and I can't remember it now. But yeah, it was one of those two I was going to go. I'm pretty sure I was going to go for the 6. Good call with resistor. Wait, what did I miss already? Miles. What? Are you talking about a previous stream, one that I missed? A low frequency hum? Yeah, that will be. It's all this thing here. I need to upgrade the capacitors in it. It's doing a really god awful. Yeah, it's just a mess. It's one of those really cheap, straight from 240 volt LED array lights, and the capacitor that's in it is insufficient. And as soon as I put any kind of load anywhere, it starts flickering like a nightmare. I have ordered them, but right, yes, the 5 is master slave and 6 is slave only. Yeah, I wasn't sure which one to explicitly go for, so I thought maybe the 6 still would have done the job fine. Right, yeah, I missed Lewis's stream this morning because I didn't wake up in time. So yeah, that was my fault. Okay, I'm just gonna have to move the camera a second. Oh crap, now I've just ruined everything. And I have to adjust the focus because I've got it on manual focus. There we go. And I'm at the point now where I need to put my headers in. Cockatoo, she's 16, lives at the zoo, has a mate. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have cockatoos here. There's a group of 20 or 30 that hang out in the local gum trees, and they're noisy buggers. And every afternoon you hear them come over squawking. We also get plenty of glass here, both in human and bird forms. 9:50 this morning, too late for me. Yeah, I wish I was up that early. I'm supposed to be getting up at 8:30, and I completely failed on that today. This is a really bodgy solder job here, because I can't be bothered to get out my clamp. No, I haven't played with quadcopters. I want to, but yeah, I generally haven't had a chance. Just a case of time, money, all that usual sort of stuff. Okay, that's ticking me off that it falls over like that. Oh well. At least not the modern quadcopters. Oh my god, this is really driving me insane. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. Yep, just went past 1 o'clock. This time I put a that's right, I verified that the clock on this computer was correct last night when it was 3:40 in the morning or whatever it was. And so now I can rely on it. But yeah, 1 o'clock. I was supposed to sort out a couple of jobs, and I'll be honest and say I didn't. I just woke up and thought I'd finish off this board and then get on with the jobs. So I deferred a couple of things till 2 o'clock, which is when I'll have to get off here. So I probably should get some food. It seems to be a common thing, not eating when you should. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. I should put this through an ultrasonic cleaner just so I can solder to it. Wouldn't close, but yeah, I agree, Amy, that would be a good option. I am so lazy right now, I'm not even getting up. Okay. I saw the news about I think it was the UK, at some concert or whatever, that wasn't very good. This is always fun to see when you do the first pin and it goes all wonky like that. That's okay, it's intentional. There you go, lined up a bit better now. .407. What are you doing up at 407, Leslie? Yeah, Bruce, I know the hum's there. It's not much I can do about it at this point. I suspect it's been caused by the LED lighting. It's not filtered at all. It's barely got the capacitor in it is barely enough to even keep the LEDs from flickering too much. So I've got more capacitors on the way. I will fit them as soon as they get here. Naturally though, when I ordered them, they were not in stock. Ah, boy. It's all that's been on the news since just after 10 p.m. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. There's going to be a lot of people who are really going to there's going to be a lot of people who are really going to take advantage of that whole situation for political reasons. Oh well, that's the world today. What am I talking about? It's always been the world. Working on a wooden table, how do you discharge any static electricity? It's not an issue on wooden tables, really. If it was like a polypropylene table or fiberglass table or something like that, it might be. But the reason why I use wood is because of the fact that it prevents a great majority of static issues. Right, that's better. Fine. How do you pronounce? You can't even tell me. Fine Finch was working, then Livestream, then finished what I had to do, and then then I started. Excuse me. I seem to burp a bit when I'm watching TV. I mean, when I'm streaming. PB Henry, I think ESD is overrated. I tend to agree. I think there are people who maybe generate a lot of static, predisposed to it or something. I know my wife is one of those people. And then there are people who don't seem to be quite as much. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people. And I think Lewis and a few others are as well. So, I mean, there are some devices where you do need to have a bit of precaution when they're not soldered on the board and whatnot. But for the most part, as soon as they're soldered in, they're safe. These days, there's a huge amount of effort put into making devices protected against stray static. TCRS, I shorted the main 12 volt of a MacBook to ground with my meter lead, caused a huge spark. Yeah, I've done that a few times actually as well. And you're sort of like, oh god, what have I done? Is it going to still work? And it still works. So it's uh, graphics GDDR RAM, graphics RAM. Oh, okay. I have ESD when I pet my cat. Yeah, in winter here, not that you can really call it winter, I'll be honest. I mean, 4 degrees is not 4 degrees centigrade. I shouldn't say centigrade, whatever. It's not a lot of not a cold weather. It's more like summer for some of you folk in Europe. But when the cats come around, yeah, they do not approve of the fact that you zap them when you go to pat them. So you spend 3 months around here with cats constantly scorning at you. Anytime he uses issue is on exposed dies and on some chips before. Yeah, exactly. Once the chips are mounted on a board, soldered in, they're extremely durable. I think it was back in the 80s when the 4000 series CMOS chips were starting to become popular. Those suckers were fairly prone to getting zapped. They had no ESD protection on them or anything like that. And so yeah, you did have to take a bit of precaution. But these days, every chip's got ESD protection diodes built into it for the most part. So try repairing iPads where ESD is a real problem. Back 9, what sort of issues are you encountering? Because, I mean, what sort of repairs are you doing to them? I haven't worked on any iPads. I explicitly choose not to work on iPads. I got a Razer that was up against a shorted lamp. There's sparks flying everywhere. Won't shut off. It's only 4 diodes. 1K. Yeah, fortunately, at least when it get a power shortage, it just does tend to take out the MOSFETs and diodes. Or if you're lucky, they've got a crowbar circuit in there and it sacrifices itself. Very unlikely to suffer damage. Most of the time, you suffer thermal damage. I mean, that is what kills 99% of the electronics. It's the heat that builds up in the part due to the short or whatever, and then it kills them. It makes the die wires, the bonding wires break off and all that sort of thing. And of course cooks the die itself at times. Alright, well, I think this is pretty much done. Oh, I forgot the on-off switch. Modern PCBs, especially in phones, laptops, having a Xenon that, yeah, and all the low ESR caps, all sorts of things, they just suck that right up, and then the board itself will take quite a bit too. Your chances are pretty minimal. If you're blowing things, I'd sooner think it's something else causing it rather than ESD. It's not to say it doesn't happen, but statistically, I'm on the side of ESD is predominantly a marketing, fear-mongering type thing. Particularly the things like wrist straps and stuff like that's a crack up. I loved that wireless wrist strap. That was unbelievable. Yeah, that's gonna do. Have a look at chat still. Back in the early days, a chip manufacturer they had to forbid that women work in the factory were not. Oh yeah, that's right. Regulators help VSD. Yeah. Is that where I work? I cannot wear wooden clothes. Oh, woolen clothes. I'm gonna. Yeah, you wouldn't want to wear wooden clothes. Although I suppose cotton kind of classifies as that, being that it's cellulose. Implant around Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, yeah. What makes me laugh? VSD screwdrivers, guaranteed 1,000 volts. ESD invented by Apple. Yeah, Yeah, let's go for the conspiracy theories. Alright, that's not going to focus. Let me see, it's pink, 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 pink. So this is our power board. It's good enough for now to get things going. So I can get started on the logic board now. Naturally, it's taken me 100 times longer to build this. I gotta decide, do I want to build it on the wood, or do I build it in the... Come on, focus, focus, focus. I don't know why, but this camera really does not... It overshoots on the focus when it looks at circuit boards, but if I put a human finger or something like that there, it picks it up just fine. But I try a circuit board and it overshoots. Come on, what are you doing? That's good. You could wear clogs so it wouldn't. Quick has a grounding port on the back, the same alligator clips, so I can attach aluminium edge on my bench. Not that I'll need it. Yeah, I think the hot air station here also has a similar thing. I've never really bothered. I need a 16k mega. Let's have a look. What do I got? 80 mega, 88. That's no good. I need a 168, and here we go. Got my 168s. And boop, that's where it goes, right there. As Abe says, focus. Yeah, put it in the jig. Oh. I am going to have to put it in the jig for only one reason. When I bring the magnifying lamp down, where it gets to the top of the webcam, it's about 10 millimeters too high to the board. So I have to put it in the jig just so I can see through here. That's a nicely stressed board right now. Good thing about UK plug sockets, most things are well overprotected, everything is earthed. Do not try discharging a TV anode. I'm assuming you're talking about the old tube TV, CRT stuff, Amy. Yeah, I did that once as a kid. I don't think I could use my arm for a day after that. That was not a mistake I want to do again. And the TV had been off for about a week. Still had it. Alright. Yeah, you peel that rubber cap back and and behind that rubber cap was a whole world of pain. I'm not caring at the moment that I'm creating bridges, it really doesn't matter. Just some extra freshly squeezed flux. Whatever. Let's see. Fine, Fien, la la la. Yeah, I don't, I don't mind anybody sharing stuff with each other. God no. I mean, yeah, as Fine, Fien says, that's what all this is here for, just to help each other out, steal each other's ideas, make millions of dollars of some idea that someone else had and pretend we never heard about it. Ah, damn it, bridge. Amy. Shut the fume extractor off. Yeah, I don't really care for the. Yeah, the Amtech definitely smells a lot better than a lot of the other stuff I've used. I was kind of surprised. At first I thought, I'm not sure why it smells so good. So I can't imagine they would put any kind of perfuming agent in there for any intentional reason. Oh, that goddamn bridge is persistent. Ryan. Alright, that's easy. Is that the closest sort of pronunciation of your name? Yeah, the only trouble with doing the wick like that is then it makes the connection look terrible. I'll do. I'll do. Now I need to put down my way over the top exotic 24-bit ADC. Yeah, I've got about 4 or 5, actually maybe 3 or 4 blocks of the pine sap out the back in the workshop. I used to make up my own flux from those, but I bought probably a few too many. But they do make nice little aromatic blocks. So here's one that, here we go. It's not a pea sample. This is some flux made out of the blocks. So you just put some alcohol in it and a few other additives, glycerin. Ah, great. There I was thinking it was great, some great big reason there, Ryan, and it turns out you just wanted a bit of a change. Oh well, I can't argue with that. Ah, the tip of my iron is getting loose. Dr. Teddy, I'm not too far from Jessa. Oh, okay. What's going to be the specs of this new ohms meter? It will get down to 100 micro ohms. That's its precision. The accuracy, I gotta admit, is all over the damn place. And the hard thing with the accuracy on these, when you get down low, is that they're greatly affected by thermals, and even down to the thermal junction, or the junction between your probe tip and the device you're measuring. That thermocoupling effect, just of touching those, is enough to throw the meter out a bit. Oh, for God's sake, no, come on. Anyone use current tracers like HP57A? Yeah. Yeah, the current tracers and the old analog audio type short tracers, they're really good. I do like them. But for this, I had technical reasons for measuring directly. Um, I was measuring the resistance of coils and also some short lengths for calibration of tracks and things like that. That's the other neat thing. If you ever want a very low resistance shunt on a circuit board, you can just put a fat track down of a certain length, and there you have it. You have your shunt. You don't need to buy a shunt for it. The PCB track is a shunt. You are not. No. Because the trouble with the PCB track shunt system is that it's quite temperature dependent, whereas a proper shunt, they tend to factor in a little bit of compensation on that, or use materials that aren't so sensitive. God damn, I can't get this to... It's really a mess, this one. I'm going to have to hot air this. So this will probably be a little bit out of frame while I do it, and it's going to be a bit of noise. Come on. I'm going to go for, because this is only a two-sided board, 410 should be fine. 30% of air. Now I'm hoping the surface tension will just pull this one back in. Or maybe not. I'll have to wick off some more. So normally I would do this with a stencil and put it in the hot air, in the reflow oven. Dear God, that's terrible. Never mind that it's the most expensive chip on the board. Wow, that's an absolute disaster. I've got the legs are completely mangled. I really shouldn't be using this iron. Holy fuck. Right, that chip's no good. was a grounding leg. No, I'm gonna have to. That one's completely bonkers. I don't know what happened there. But that is definitely coming off. I'll have to get another one. I don't have any more, but no, well, I'll have to order another one. What I might do is, because this is a 24-bit one, it has about a 7 or 8, I think it's 7 uh, conversions a second, which is quite slow. And since I'm planning on using this meter for more diagnostic stuff where you want a quicker update, I will probably change it down to a 16-bit version, and that will give me closer to, I think, 20 to 30 samples per second, which will work better for what I'm planning on using it. This is actually commercial hardware that I designed quite a few years ago. I probably will release the details for it. The restrictions on the information have long since expired for me. So yeah, I guess I will. It's more just a pain of making all the documentation nice. Well, I guess I'll put on all the discrete components while I order a new one. Mako, I think it is Mako. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an I in there. Yep. Yeah, so there you go. Completely fucked up the chip. Great, I'm probably going to get a community strike now for swearing. It was well deserved. What I'm doing right now is I just go along and I tin the pads for the components, sort of as a in advance type job. Looks okay. TCO. Oh, make. I didn't see your icon before. I didn't realize who I was talking to. Sorry, man. This is my own design. This isn't a kit. It went through about 14, 15 revisions, I think. This is long 14 CMB, so it's the second revision of the 14th revision. Worst thing I ever fixed was a Mac back in the 90s. Nicotine yellow, board had shorted. Oh my god. Yeah, Leslie, you can keep that one. It's more, the A is more sounding as an English I, is it English L? Miko? You might have to make an audio file of saying your name and send it to me. Alright. Okay, since I've done with the power board, I can now look at the printouts for the main one. Now look at all the components, and after that I will thereby second guess everything I do and sort of go, is that really what I wanted? Usually what I knock off first are the there we go. Things like 100 nanofarad caps, just all the quick, easy little discrete pieces, 10K resistors, all that sort of thing. So, Back 9. You guys work with Windows or Linux to do software repair? Yeah, definitely Linux myself, but you already knew that. So PB Henry, you getting many raises still with that original problem? Have you had any more squealing MOSFETs? I mean, I don't know if it is the MOSFETs that squeal per se, but yeah, you know what I mean. Because I only had that one. And I thought it was amusing that it happened around the same time you were talking about it when you were on the stream of Lewis. And I get the customer job in, and what do you know? Squealing cat. Yeah. Oh man. I keep cleaning these tweezers, but they keep getting gunked up. Oh, so that case wasn't actually nicotine? No, wait, you did say it was nicotine. Yeah. I do get a few of those, and yeah, they terrify me. Yep, there goes the hot air. So we've got that 100, that 100, that 100. Yep, that's a sneaky one. Just there. Better mark these off. Yes, and squealing power supplies too, Amy. That. Did I do that one? Yep. That. I've got a lot more one. Oh, that's great. Oh no, that's okay. I know what I'm doing there. Oh yeah, nice banding there. Thank you. Sorry. What am I going for time? Okay, I'm almost going to have to finish up because I've got customers coming in. I don't have to go just yet, but I'm just pre-warning you. back 9 because most of the programs are for Windows. Hope it changes. Yeah, the only way to make that change is, of course, for us to do the coding ourselves, I guess. Um, the commercial side of Linux software is it's half-assed at best. I mean, I do what I can with my software. But I am pleased to see, though, that sorry, I'm just having a bit of a mental moment here. Oh, right. Okay. I understand what I've done. I am pleased to see that Linux finally got itself a half decent, and by decent I mean functions and doesn't crash, video editor. The one I'm talking about is Shotcut. I had high hopes for what was it? There was one called OpenShot. I had high hopes for that, and then I don't know what the developer did, but he went from having a product that was going somewhere, and then he just filled it up with bling and broke pretty much everything. Nothing worked properly after that. And then, like I said, fortunately Shotcut turned up, and I've since used that for everything. I did buy a commercial video editor for Linux at one point. It was called Main Actor, and then they vanished. Took my license with them, and that was about $400 I didn't get to use again. But while they were in business, it crashed a hell of a lot, but it did at least give me some nice editing. And I had a fair number of very nice features which I wish or hope that Shotcut will eventually develop. Can you... Oh yeah, sorry about that. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Leslie, I was thinking of learning coding. I only did Basic and Pascal back in the 8-bit days. I was thinking of learning C++. Okay. Well, it depends on what you want to do your coding for. Yeah, I mean, do you have a project in mind that you want to do? Because honestly, I found coding is so boring unless you've got a project that you're shooting for. I mean, I still mostly code in C. The only reason I picked up C++ was so that I could do the work I wanted on an open board view. Build stuff, simple GUIs and access hardware, a bit like specky programs. I mean, you could, yeah, the thing that's going to dominate your choice there is what GUI toolkit you use. If you go something horrible like GTK, then you can use it in C. Outside of that, almost everything seems to demand that you use C++ at the very least, which I find a bit of a nuisance. I much prefer C. You can use SDL, which is a bit of a lower level graphical toolkit system, and with that you can get away with using C quite easy. I used to do a fair number of programs in straight SDL for interfacing with my electronics, like if I wanted to graphing output or something like that out of a logger. SDL did a pretty good job of that. Otherwise, for the most part, almost all of my C programs are strictly text console things. Let's see. Programming on the Commodore 64s. Oh yeah, good old BASIC. Um, yeah, BASIC was fun for doing little loops and some random things. But then you quickly start to think, how the heck do they make the more advanced programs? I just can't see how they do it with BASIC. And then that's when you discover that there's things like Pascal and C and all the rest of it. Oh, looks like I've missed. I'm going to catch up on chat here. Learn C++ is needed. Yeah, likewise. So I think I found much more useful Python, whose libraries made C. So if you want some low-level function, you can just make it. Yeah, I believe the Python to C interface or whatnot is fairly good. I just can't stand Python because of the active white space. Is there a big difference between C and C++? Yes, there is actually a colossal difference between C and C++. We're just fortunate that the compilers allow you to mishmash it together. But it's something that results in a lot of drama. People think that C++ is an extension, just extra features on C, when it's not. It's a completely different language altogether. Okay, I shouldn't say completely different because they're both got the same constructs and such. But for the most part, the code you see out there is a bastardization of both C and C++. Paul, did you start with the VIC-20 when you were a kid also? For me, I started on a program called a piece of equipment called the VZ200. It was it was like a Sinclair ZX10 basically. So that's where I started. And after that, I ended up with the IBM XT, and yeah, pretty much went from there. On the IBM, it was DOS, and then I went to OS2, and then at university, I was on Ultrix or HPX, which I did not like, and then Linux and BSD. I'm interested in web stuff too. I've dabbled with PHP, HTML, have no clue about CSS. Yeah, CSS seems like a bit of an oddity at first, and then you realize it's more just it's very convenient for complex web pages or anything where you want to keep a consistent look and feel about it. On a small, simple web page, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, once you get beyond that, CSS is a real lifesaver. Atari 800 XL in the 8-bit day. Yeah, I never really did much with the 6502s or the early 6800s or anything like that. I sort of went the Z80, then 8088. I gotta admit, the elegance of the 68,000 series was far better. But that said, their early elegance ended up costing them later when they simply couldn't expand their instruction sets quite the same. It was just too much of a cost penalty. Yeah, that's the trade-offs with your microcode when you do that. So, likewise with the Spark chipsets with their, I think it was a sliding window registry set. It was a brilliant innovation, but then it ended up becoming their Achilles heel when they need to get going faster. Peck. Oh wow, yeah, the PET. Remember those? VIC 20, Atari 800 XL, 1040, Commodore XT. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does feel a bit that way at times, doesn't it, Stray? I gotta admit, I'm very happy with where computers are these days. I mean, I enjoyed all that sort of stuff back in the day, as it were, but I am extraordinarily thankful that we are now where we are. I remember doing the first dial-ups and things like that, 300 baud acoustic coupling modems. God, that was horrible. Ah, my 10k resistors, I was wondering where they were. So yeah, you might get feelings of nostalgia now and then, but yeah, more than happy to have my legitimate pictures and internet connectivity. You did OS2. Biggest mistake of my life. IBM was going to market my company's product right before that. Oh yeah, yeah. IBM badly botched OS2 in so many ways. The first mistake was trying to cram it onto the 286. That was just, yeah, that was the first hiccup. They should have just gone straight for the 386 there. And then their installation woes with the, I think it was the Warp release, where it just crashed out things and was a complete showstopper, and they'd already gone to gold release and selling the stuff. So, and then of course Microsoft played the business smarts and ran off on their own and took out the market. I'd say Microsoft's main or biggest win in terms of changing the market direction was Microsoft Office. When Microsoft Office came to market, I pretty much knew straight away that writing was on the wall. I mean, Word wasn't as good as WordPerfect in terms of, you know, if you're a serious typist and stuff like that, but Microsoft knew what it was doing. They knew the market, and once Office was here, that was it. There was no stopping it, because it enabled, as it were, the common person. All of a sudden, the common person could produce good enough documents, good enough spreadsheets, good enough everything, and it was so easy. It was like, look, just it's on the screen, no problems. I don't have to imagine what it's going to be like. I know straight away. Yeah. 50, oh, Dr. Teddy, yeah, 50, yeah, 50 and the 110. That slightly predates me. On the PDP-11, bootstrap layers done via punch tape. Yeah. We had a PDP-11 at the university, but it was a showpiece in a glass case. Alright, I'm trying to see what else I need to add. What have we got? I need a 330 ohm. Why do I have a big fat 330? Oh, that's for... Don't mind me, I'm just questioning my own design choices. I've got a great big 1206 pad set here for a 330 ohm resistor, and I couldn't work out why it was there, and then I realized it's for the LED backlight on the 16 by 2 matrix display, but I don't use those ones, so I can leave it off. Okay. Well, this certainly isn't going to go anywhere at the moment because of the fact that I don't have my ADC. I just have to, yeah, get another one. Let's see if this board fits. Probably should. Well, the daughter board fits, so that's good. 8-inch floppies. Oh, God. Yeah, no thanks. Probably the worst computer I remember of that era was the IBM PC Junior. That thing drove me insane. Particularly, I was doing a lot of assembly work back then, and the BIOS on it was different to a normal PCX PC. And so I'd be doing various assembly calls to BIOS functions that didn't exist. So I didn't approve of that. Okay, what am I going to do? I think I'm pretty much done for now. I need to put on, let's see if we can hear. There's a temperature sensor that needs to go here. I might actually have that. No, tiny 10, tiny 13s, tiny 10s. Nope, not in that one. Not in those ones. There we go, maybe these ones. Lovely keyboard on the Junior. Yeah, it had all those strange function keys I seem to remember. Yeah, okay, fortunately I do have my temperature sensors. These are nice sensors. They're cheap, they're easy to interface. They're not as they're not the one wire Dallas type units, but I find them pretty good. Oops. Boop. No. If anyone else out there assembles boards and parts, you'll know that no matter how you try, you almost always will never get the part the right way up on the board when you drop it on there. And then you spend 15 minutes flipping it back and forth. Paul, was the ground pin completely sheared off? Yes, it was. Yep, completely sheared off. It just broke clean out of it. This camera is not going to probably show it up, but no, let's have a try. Oh yeah, I'll manually adjust the focus on this. Nope. Alright, there you go. So you can see the end pin just broken clean off. I'm not entirely sure why it did that. Maybe it got damaged somewhere along the line. It could have been this iron. It could have been the fact that I'm half blind. Most of the soldering that I'm doing is by feel. I mean, I can see the parts there, but I don't have the fine vision that I used to. Back in the day, purchasing the newest high capacity hard drive with a whopping 100 megabyte of storage for $1,000. Ow! Yeah. Was that one of those was it an IDE interface one, and it had about 5 platters and stood 2 unit high, like it needed 2 drive bays, and then there was a whopping great big relay on it, and you power it up and it would clack in, you're like clack, and then it starts spinning up. Because I got one of those in an auction, and it worked for about a month, and the damn thing wouldn't work anymore. I was quite upset about that. I was only about 16. Scuzzy. Oh god, even worse. That would have. That's definitely why it was $1,000 plus. Everything's done on there. I'm tempted to go all hot air over this, but I might wait until I've finished. Get the replacement chip. I am not going to put that. I'm not putting this fellow in until the last sort of moment. It just sits in here like that. That's all it needs. Because there's so little current flowing through it, we're talking about 10 milliamps or so, I don't need to put a heatsink onto it. What I would be smart to do, well actually no, it makes no difference. One of the problems I found is that the temperature picked up here by this sensor will always still be different to what's on the resistor. It can be, a tenth of a degree difference or whatever, and unfortunately there's no way to really resolve that problem, because I use this for compensation based on what I know the temperature gradient graph of the resistor is, and also of what the ADC is. In the end, you're just fiddling with bits that end up not really being, they don't really end up being trustworthy. So in the end, you sort of go, stuff it. Just drop down from, say, 21 bits back to 19. Yeah, the 50-pin connectors on those scuzzy cables, and then of course you'd have to have your terminators at the end. Yeah. Alright, well 2 o'clock's come up, so I really need to get back with everything. I'm happy enough with what I got, considering I was yabbering away. A little upset about the loss of that ADC, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'll go get the 16-bit version, which is considerably cheaper, and like I said, it will be faster. So it's going to make more sense for the sort of work I'm doing. So I've been going for an hour. Well, 21 people watching. That's surprising. Alright. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm glad to see the stream didn't play up too badly this time. I'm not sure why it didn't like the 1080p, but I suppose at 720 it seemed alright, I'm assuming, guys, girls, everybody. I'm getting aggravated, my MG Chemicals wick. Well, what's wrong with your wick? I'm using Goot at the moment. I should put that there and make Chris Long rage. He's like, no. Looks like it's just Google telling me things. Alright. Okay. I'll catch up with you guys later. And yeah, when I get this chip and a few other things, I'll run another stream. I may do another stream in the meantime if I've got something interesting to repair. Nothing today really has come in that is interesting, I'm sorry to say, but we'll see how it goes. If something comes up, I'll launch the stream. Want to hear about aquariums and favourite fish next time? I'll yabber about that right now for a second. Yeah, I was big into the aquariums when I was 10 to 20 years old. I love freshwater angelfish, the original silver angels. They are my favourite probably, and cardinal tetras. Those two were my big thing. So I did also love the golden rams. I didn't really do any saltwater stuff, marine. It was simply too much work for me and too expensive at that age. Alright, yep. Off to bed, and yeah, I'll yab more about things later. Okay, thanks a lot. See you guys next time.